I was trying to curl it and trying to, give me a little mohawk, but because I've been weighing it to the side and shit, it want to do what it want to do. But how y'all doing today? Y'all ready for this Good Tuesday? I know y'all can tell I just woke up and shit. I got to get my sleep whenever I can. Hit the wine glass if you ready for tonight. All right. So I got my wine. I got my water. I got our first guest on hold right now. She's going to be in a second. For those of y'all that are new to Happy Hour, okay, this is a segment that's all about the viewers, okay? We don't talk about no celebrity gossip or anything. We talk about us and our problems and how to become happy again after the bullshit, okay? So if you want to be a part of Happy Hour, I need you to send me an email to unwinewithtashak@gmail.com, or you can leave me a voicemail, okay, at 404-382-8865, okay? And please make sure you leave a message so that my content manager will know exactly what this is in reference to. And if you want to be a part of Happy Hour, we can distort your voice, but tonight we got two guests. They don't really care about distorting their voice. They want their whole name and everything out there, okay? So they're going to tell us the business. The first person I have, and I'm going to introduce her in a second, her name is Sean, okay? She's having male problems, all right? You already know. Them motherfuckers is a given, all right? And then we have a special guest who happens to be blind, African-American male, who is having some problems with his ex-wife and the children, and the mother of his children, okay? And he's going to be calling in later in the show, okay? But first, we're going to start with Sean. How you doing, Sean?
I'm good. How you doing, Miss
I'm
Tasha?
good. I need everybody to hit the wine glass to make sure that they can hear Sean out there in the audience, okay? Let me know, and then I'm going to go ahead and ask her to tell us her question, okay? Don't y'all be laughing at my hair, damn it. Look at it. Sit to the side and shit. Fuck up. I got my wine, too. I ain't gonna drink much because I got to be on my P's and Q's tonight. I ain't trying to get him no messed up advice, okay? Now, the celebrity gossip, we can fuck up there. But when it come to us, we got to be on our P's and Q's. And I'll tell you exactly what this beautiful bottle is after the show, okay? All right, Sean.
Yes.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so, Sean, you contacted me some time ago. You said you were having some issues with the man that you're seeing. I want you to go ahead and tell the viewers exactly what's going on between you two, and I promise I will try my best to give you the best advice possible, okay? So go ahead. Okay. Give us the one.
Okay. I've been with this guy for almost 4 years, right? So one day I was in California, and he asked me to send him some money and that he would pay my rent. So he kept messing around. Come to find out, he didn't pay my rent. So I'm like, why you didn't pay my rent? Because you had money when you was out there. I said, but that wasn't our agreement. Our agreement was that you was going to pay my rent if I sent you this money. So another thing, he was driving my car because his tires was messed up. So we driving hours and hours, and my gas tank got on low. So he said, because I told his friend I was going to put the $6 in there so he can go take him to get some herb or something. So
wait a minute. When you say herb, you mean like, medicinal or street?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Keep talking.
Some herb and stuff. So, mind you, my car is on E. He gonna tell me, no, I'm gonna go jump in my car. And that's my car on E. He do this to me all the time, and every time he have a family function, he don't never take me. We don't do nothing. He barely come see me, and he barely call me. And we don't have sex, because I don't know where he been. Every time I call him, he don't ever pick up his phone. He don't ever do nothing.
Okay.
He just leave me hanging, Tasha.
Now let me ask you a few questions. Okay, so how long have you been seeing this guy?
Almost 4 years.
4 years, okay. And you guys, and I take it there was some type of sex when you guys first started dating?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is this a long distance relationship?
No.
It's not.
No.
So you guys live in the same city?
Yeah.
Okay. And so every time you call, he never picks up the phone.
Right.
He called and asked you for some money to pay his, I guess to pay his rent. And
he called to ask me to pay his car note.
Oh, his car note. Okay, so the rent,
Yeah.
It was your rent money.
Yeah, it was my rent money, and he said, I'll pay your rent. And I was like, okay, so he kept messing around, and then I thought about, okay, you didn't even give a damn if I was going to get evicted or not. He didn't even care.
Okay. And this is, and these are the two situations that you're mainly trying to, I guess, get some clarity on. You want to know what do you want to know? Because I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I want to know if I should stay with this man or not, because he do me dirty all the time, and the only time I ever see him is when he wants something.
Okay. Sounds like a child. Sounds like a child to me. I'm looking for my child right damn now, but she'll come find me when she wants something. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you want to know if you should stay with this man. Okay. And thank you all so much for listening and being patient. I see you guys are really, really going in the comments, okay? And you're getting some really good feedback. I don't want you watching the show while I'm giving you advice because it's going to echo through the microphone. So, just as an outsider looking in, it sounds like that is, it's not a relationship. And, I said this during my last happy hour. I said the way to know, I asked my auntie when I was 17 years old, how do I know when a man really loves me? Okay. And so, she gave me the best advice that I still apply to my life, and I will push that here on this channel. Okay. Because I was raised by some pretty smart fucking women. All right. They weren't about that bullshit. And you were their friend until they got a ring. Okay. So I could see my auntie, all types of dudes leaving the house. And I'm like, hey, who's your new boyfriend? That's my friend. Okay. That's my grown people shit. Now, she told me at 17 years old, I said, how do you know when a man really loves you? And she said, it's when he wants to spend all of his time with you. Okay. And that meant like, you ain't calling looking for him, and a man that really loves you and wants to see you make it and really cares about you is not going to take money from you and not give it back. Now, do you have any children?
No, not with him, no.
Okay, but you do have kids that you support.
No, all my kids are grown.
Girl, you go. Shit. Hit the wine glass for Sean. All her kids is grown. Okay. Well, I'm glad
my baby boy finna be 27.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now,
but I think the older I get, the more soft-hearted I get. Because, girl, back in the day, I wouldn't even be going through all this mess right now.
Okay. Now, I can tell you right now, it seems like this man doesn't give a shit about you. He doesn't want to answer your calls. Y'all are not having sex. I'm glad you're not putting yourself out there because, women your age and my age, we're still, capable of catching many sexually transmitted diseases. And so I'm glad that you're not putting yourself out there. Now, I don't want to see you to continue to use the little money that you have, supporting him. He's a grown man. Now, I want to ask you something. Because it kind of sounds like to me, and I'm not putting you on blast, I'm not, but I have to ask. Do you feel like you kind of have to give him what he wants because you somehow feel because maybe that you're older, you're not going to be able to find anyone, that will treat you with the respect and love you like you should be loved? Because it kind of sounds like you're sacrificing yourself to give to him, and I'm just wondering why you would do that.
Oh my God! Yeah, I never thought about it like that. I never thought about it like that, Tasha.
Really?
Yeah, I never thought about it like that. I mean, I think I feel sorry for him because he's such a loser. He is, and every time I mess with him, then my whole spirit gets messed up. And check this out though, Tasha. This man worked every single day. every day. And he get a check for his daughter because his daughter's mother passed away, and she used to work for the government.
Okay.
Why do he always get evicted every year?
Okay. Now I want to say this, okay? If somebody asks you for some money, 9 times out of 10 they're asking you because they don't have it.
Right.
Which means if they don't have it, they're not going to be able to give it back to you.
Right.
Okay? So my rule of thumb, when people ask me for money and my friends think I am a bitch for this, I'm like, I go out here, I work every day just like you do. I have a child. I have things that I have to take care of. And if there's something that, if I feel like I have to go out and ask somebody for some money, that means that I need to work harder. And so I've never asked anybody for any money at all, okay? And so the fact that he's grown and he has income and a job that supports him, but yet he keeps coming to you, it kind of sounds like, and the fact that he's not taking you around his family, it sounds like that you're kind of somebody that he just keeps at bay. So when he needs you, he comes to you. But when he doesn't need you, he's entertaining the main woman that's at his house. Now, have you been to his house before?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I know since you said he gets evicted, like, you know, every once a year, I'm sure it's plenty of houses you done been to. Okay.
Right.
Now, you guys don't go out on dates in public or anything like that?
No, we do, but it's just like when he go around his family, like he had a family reunion at this park out here, and I called him and I said, "What you doing?" He said, "I'm at a family reunion," and I was like, "So you couldn't ask me if I want to go? You couldn't ask me, Anthony, if I want to go?" He was like, my cousin came and picked me up. And then another thing, he lied so much. As soon as he opened his mouth, he's lying. And I'm like, you too old to be lying. You're not a kid.
So now that you know that, and you just told me that he is a compulsive liar, the next time he asks you for some money and says he's going to give it back, you got to automatically know that this motherfucker's lying. You can't give him a pass. You cannot feel sorry for him. If you know that he has this shit together, you should not be out homeless because of this motherfucker. Because, I mean, and I'm sure he don't mind you being homeless if he's homeless once a year.
Right. He don't give a damn. He don't care.
Okay.
And he got a daughter that talked to him like he sucked her from the bottom of her shoe. She talked to him bad. And then she thought she was going to talk to me like that. Excuse my language, but I said, bitch, you're not going to talk to me crazy because I'll beat your ass. That's just what I told her.
Okay.
She just turned 14. Well, I'm like, no, bitch, you're not going to do that shit to me.
Yeah, especially you a grown woman. You done raised your kids. There's no way a child, especially after I done raised children, is going to talk to me like I'm a motherfucking child. So I'm glad you put that little bitch in her place. Now, you're not wrong for saying what you're saying, okay? Everything is fair game on this channel. You're uncensored. So I want to talk about you and why you haven't decided to move on.
You know what? I live in Indianapolis.
Okay.
And these niggas out here they ain't even worth my time for some reason. I'm from California. I'm from California. I was raised in San Francisco. And I moved out here because my mate had passed away, and I didn't want to be in California no more without him. So I moved out here. And the niggas out here, they all,
Okay. Now, I've been to Indianapolis, so I know the male pool is kind of short. But have you tried dating outside of your community?
What? A different race?
Yeah, girl, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, girl, I got mixed kids.
Oh, okay. Well, shit. So you done been there. Well, go back. Go back. If it's short, go back. Okay. I'm not saying giving up. I'm not saying give up on our brothers. I get it. But if the pool is short out there, and they seem to be ain't shit. You know, you got to be able to expand your horizons. And I kind of want you I want you to figure out a way to kind of get over him, because it sounds like more of a headache and a stress to you. And I don't understand why it is that at your age, you're still allowing this shit to happen. And it's just enough is enough. You know, you have you to take care of. You're not raising any more kids. And if somebody that you happen to be sharing your bed with and your time with isn't able to kind of meet your hustle, then he has no business sharing your time or your bed with you at all. Okay? So I personally would just leave his ass alone. You know, I don't want you getting online, meeting nobody, but I do kind of want you joining some clubs and shit. You know, I love meetup.com. I love that, okay? And you kind of put yourself out there, because I understand you're older. You may not want to spend, you know, you may not like being lonely. And I get it. You know, I honestly get it. But it sounds like that he's extremely selfish. It sounds like you know what type of man he is. And if you want to continue to be with him, this is what it's going to be like. But I highly recommend that you just leave his ass alone. You know, you just kind of needed confirmation from me.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I needed. I just needed the confirmation.
Okay. Now they got a lot of advice for you. They got a lot of advice for you in the comments. I hear from Beautiful Beautiful Chaos? Why is he so broke? Why is she so broke if he has so much income? You know, a man that loves you is going to make sure that you're okay. Okay. He's going to make sure you got food, you got a roof over your head, and he's not going to ask you to come sacrifice yourself. Okay. Right. I got Malcolm Ward. This is another man in the comments basically saying, yes, she's raising him. So there's a lot of good advice here in the comments. They're basically saying you're a sugar mama at this point. Okay. And, yeah. So I just want you to leave his ass alone. Okay? Give him this video and let him know you're going to leave his ass alone. So he'll know. And he'll be able to see what type of nigga he is. Okay? So thank you so much, Sean, for calling in.
Thank you, Miss Tasha.
Anytime. And thank you so much for being patient with me. I am going to mail you a little something. So I do have your address, okay? To get you sipping. And hopefully... And hopefully you'll be able to share this bottle of wine with your new man. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Sean. All right. Love you too. Now I got to go. Love you too. All right. Bye. Okay. All right. I see y'all winos over here in the comments. Woo, that was a lot. But you know, some people just don't know, and they just kind of need that extra reinforcement. And that's what I got from Sean during this call, and I'm sure that you guys got that too. And I see you guys over here basically, you know, giving some really, really good advice to Sean, and I'm sure she's going to log off and come over here and read some of the comments that y'all have. Actually, Sean is one of the moderators, so please feel free to offer her as much advice as you can, okay? So give me 1 second. Let me get our second happy hour guest on the phone. Hit the wine glass if you're ready for Mike, okay? I talked to Mike earlier, and Mike ain't with that bullshit today. I'm going to let y'all know right now. Did y'all see my daughter try to creep in? I was like, girl, I'm working. She was like, oh. So you got to get away. This grown folks time. But she behind the door listening and shit. Okay, let me go ahead and get Mike on the phone. All right? Give me 1 second. 1 second. Hope y'all are enjoying this live. All right, let's call Mike. Give us 1 second. We're getting Mike on the phone. He got a lot to tell us, okay? So I hope you got your wine. Mike?
Hello.
Hey, it's Tasha K.
Hey, what's up with it, girl?
I'm good. Let me make sure it's not, too distorted, because my voice is loud, and I want to make sure that they can hear you in the comments. Please let me know, Mike. I want you to introduce yourself, and I'm going to be asking them if they can hear you clearly in the comments before we get into your situation, okay?
All right, Dan.
All right. Oh, I think they can hear you. Okay. All right. So, Mike, seems like everybody can hear you. I'm going to go ahead and drop the comments down just for 1 second. Mike, thank you so much for reaching out to me. Your story really touched me.
All right, bet that.
You left me a voicemail basically stating that your child's mother had gotten into
Yeah.
some trouble for allowing her boyfriend, her live-in boyfriend, to, you know what? I'm going to let you tell the story, okay? They have the title, so I'm going to let you start from the beginning, and then I'll offer my advice and ask some questions as we go, okay?
Okay. Well, pretty much, my name is Mike, and I reached out to you because I've been watching this show for a little bit, and I liked it, regardless of all that other stuff that them other people talk about, I'm stuck on you.
Thank
So,
you.
I'm pretty much, digging your show. Been
Thank
watching
you.
it for about 6 months. Well, listening to it because, like I said, I'm blind.
Okay.
I've been blind for a while, about 6 years now. They don't know what happened. I just woke up and my sight was gone.
I'm
In
sorry.
the process, I was losing my marriage as well. Me and her was on the rocks. She already left me and cheated on me, and we decided that we would work it, out, and we got blessed with a son. After my son was born, my health started declining. I was diagnosed with kidney failure, so I'm on dialysis. In the meantime, I have been caring for my son. I've been caring for him ever since he was 1. He's 6 now. My daughter, she wouldn't let me see my daughter because I wouldn't let her see our son. And our son, he never wanted to go over there. Now remember, he was 1. So for a 1-year-old to not want to be with his mom, is something wrong there. So as the time started going by, she finally just started letting me see my daughter. And I'm pretty sure it was because she was probably just, kind of getting tired of her. So, let her go for a weekend or so. When my daughter would come see me, she just wasn't right. She just wasn't right. And see, I'm blind, so all of my senses are heightened. So I can tell by somebody's voice. I can tell by the vibrations in the air. So my daughter, she just wasn't right. So I remember one night she wanted to eat. It was about 11 o'clock at night, and she wanted me to make her some pancakes. Yes, I do still cook.
You got to feed them kids.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And, so I'm making the pancakes, and, of course I'm cooking in the dark. And she says, I want to tell you something, but I don't want you to be mad at me.
Now, how old is your daughter at this time?
At this time, she was 7 going on 8.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I was like, what would I get mad at you for? Like, if you got something to tell Daddy, tell it. So I'm flipping the pancake, and she goes, he touched me. And the pancake, it goes all over the stove. And I say, who touched you? And then she goes, my mama's boyfriend. And at this moment, I don't know what to think, but I'm going to kill this nigga. Straight up. So I sit down. First thing I do is call the police. They come over. They take a statement. They call CPS, and now CPS is involved. Okay, CPS makes this fucked up decision for me to go ahead and send her back home. So I sent her home, and CPS intercepts them before the daughter. So when they intercept them, she goes and pulls my daughter out of school and takes her off somewhere so CPS can come to the school and talk to her, and then she pretty much brainwashes her by saying, they're going to take you away from me, they're not going to give you to your dad, why would you do this, why would you tell him that, you got him thinking it's not like that. Now, let me rewind it, because when I called her to talk to her about it, this is what she said. My daughter was in the restroom urinating, and she was having problems urinating. So he came and called her because she was there with him alone. He picks up the phone, called her, tell her what's going on. She says, put her on speaker. They put my daughter on speaker, and then they turn around and say, is it okay if he check you down there to see is anything wrong? My daughter said, she said no, she was not comfortable with him looking at her private area. She tells the boy to do it anyway. And that's why I believe that opened up the door, at least in my opinion.
Okay.
My daughter said no. She said, Dad, when she left you and she took us, she said maybe about a month later, he was schooling me. And I said,
So wait. So this is more than just touch, okay? So she means screwing. Like your 7-year-old daughter tells you that mommy's boyfriend is screwing me?
Well, putting his middle part in her middle part. That's how she said it.
Okay.
She said he put his middle part on my middle part. But I don't want to get everything out of sequence because, like I said, there's so much to this, so let's go. Okay? I didn't know about it until she was 9. After everything came out. Okay, everything came out when she was 7 going on 8. But when she was 9, I guess her mom fell on hard times and she had to bring her to me. So, she was like, I'm going to let her go to school, blah, 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 and her. Chauncey is looking for my child because she's been out of school for over 2 months. So by the time they found me, of course, I've already had her enrolled in school and everything. They just needed to have proof that she was in school. So I was asking my daughter, why was you out of school so long? And then she was like, she just started acting real funny. Like, it was crazy because now they was trying to get away from the dude.
Okay, let me stop you for a second because I want to understand this, and I'm sure some people are probably confused. So you found out at 7 that from your daughter.
Yeah, when she first told me about the incident, it was 7.
Okay, so CPS gave her back to her mom.
Yeah, they suggested me to send her home first so they could do their investigation.
Oh, wow.
Because they said, we know how this is. Dads try to get the daughters and coach the daughters to say things. And, they flip it around and try to get us involved in a custody issue. And that wasn't I'm getting upset.
Okay, take your time.
That wasn't the case because my child is my fucking child.
Right.
I see this shit going on every day. Like, it was happening in my family. It was happening in hers. So why the hell would I make up a story like that saying how much it hurt people?
Right.
So basically, when they interviewed them, they all got together. They was the best family in the world, and I was hating. That was everybody's story. I was hating because she didn't want to be with me. So I'm like, okay. So when CPS brought it back to me, they said, we can't find anything. They just said that you're mad because she don't want to be with you, blah, blah, blah. So, it's nothing. We're closing the case.
Okay. So they closed the case at 7 when she was 7 years old. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So fast forward, because you said you didn't find out till when she was 9 is when she said that, Daddy, he put his part against my part.
Exactly.
Okay.
Okay, so basically, let's go to 9. Okay, I have her now. She just turned 10 this year, so I had her in March last year. Now, this is when I got her now, permanently due to what they call in Texas change of custody.
Okay.
So, it's basically the mom gave her to me.
Okay.
So, everything is okay, but like I said, my senses are heightened. I can tell my daughter is not okay. So she was complaining about irritation and burning, in her vaginal region. Okay, for one, I can't see, and even if I could, I wouldn't be trying to examine my daughter. So that takes me back to that point. That's why I don't understand why she was asking this nigga to examine my daughter. Okay, so I said, let's go to the emergency room. So we went to urgent care. And when we went to urgent care, they, of course, sent me out of the room, and they examined my daughter. It took them about 45 minutes. And they called me back in the room to just sit with my daughter. And they explained to me, oh, yeah, she has a UTI, so sit here.
At 10 years old, a UTI, okay.
Yeah. And they was like, and this is crazy because she has been having a history of them since about 4 years old. Like, every time I turn around, my daughter had a UTI. Every time I turn around. They was calling
And her little
me.
body can only take so much of those antibiotics.
Exactly. And, she was catching UTIs so much that they stopped even telling me when she was going to the hospital. I had to find out from my daughter telling me, you know, I went to the hospital the other day because she tells her dad everything.
Okay.
So, basically, I'm sitting in there, and they said they had needed to go out and call in a prescription. Okay, an hour went by, 2 hours went by. So I looked at my daughter, and I said, these bastards is calling CPS on me. And she was like, no, they not, Daddy. They doing the prescription. So I opened the door because I can't see. So I'm like, hey, if y'all calling CPS on me, just tell me. And, you know, they was like, of course, nah, we ain't calling CPS. It's just take a time for the prescription to go through. So we sitting there for about 3 hours, then they sent me home. 10 o'clock in the morning, guess who was at my door?
CPS.
Yep. So I opened the door, and she said, do you know who I am? And I said, of course not. She said, I'm, you know, blah, 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 CPS. I said, oh, hell. You know, so she said, can I come in? I said, sure. So, you know, she came in. You know how they walk around your house and look around, do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, well, the reason that I'm here is because, do you know what a hymen is? And, you know, me being jokingly trying to break the ice, you know, I said, yeah. I said, I done took plenty of hymens back in my day. And she just started laughing. And then she said, well, your daughter's is gone. And I said, what? She said, well, let me explain so you can know exactly what it is. I said, I know what it is. It's that layer of skin, that tissue, that indicates whether your child is a virgin or not. And she was like, yeah, hers is gone. She said, this is the medical report right here because they faxed it over to her. It said her hymen is torn. And then it said that her vagina has severe scarring and tearing. And it was, you know, like really irritating. And they said this is due for maybe a foreign object or sexual activity.
And this was at 9. And this was at 9 years old or 10.
This is 9. When they, you know, 9 last year, August. So she had just turned 9. Last year, August, was when I had, you know, took her to the emergency room because of what she was talking about. And let me remind you, her birthday had just passed. Her mom had begged me if she could, you know, take her out for her birthday. I said, okay, I guess that's fine. She said, I'll bring her back tomorrow. She ended up bringing her back early. And when she brought her back early, my daughter went in the house, didn't say nothing to me, didn't say nothing to nobody. So me and her talking, I said, what's wrong with her? Ain't nothing wrong with her. You just want something to be wrong with her. There's nothing wrong with her.
Now, this is after you found out about her hymen being torn.
No, this is before.
Okay.
Yeah, this is before. See, like I said, it's a whole bunch of, you know, pieces to the story. There's just so much of it. After she left, I went in the house and my daughter was sitting on the stairs. She was crying. And that's when she said it happened again. And I said, how did it happen again? I thought her and that nigga broke up. And she was like, nah, he was back. So that's when, you know, I took her to the urgent care. You know, because she was saying later on that night, you know, like, you know, she was having irritation and stuff. And I took her to the urgent care. So after after all of that with CPS, I called my sister because my daughter was going to the school that my sister taught at. I said, bring her home now. So she brought her home, and she tried to talk to her at first, but my daughter started crying, and she wasn't saying anything. So the lady pulled me to the side. She said, if she don't talk, I can't help. She said, you're going to have to, if her mama want her, you're going to have to let her go, because I can't help. So, I was going upstairs, and, of course, I'm not going to force my kids to do nothing. I told my daughter, I said, hey, if you want help and you want your voice to be heard, I said, you need to talk to this woman. So my daughter went downstairs. The lady took her for a walk because she didn't want me or my sister, nobody else around. When that woman came back, she was in tears. My daughter told her stuff that she didn't even tell me. And it was sick what this man did and tried to do.
And at this point, her mom is still with this guy.
Yes.
Now, you said, obviously, there were some charges filed. And
yes, on him.
Tell me about that.
Okay, well, basically, CPS referred me to this place called DCAC. I think that's called DC Department Child Advocacy Center. And I was going there. Of course, they have their own little police department in there. So I ended up talking to a detective. And they interviewed me first. And then they interviewed her. And they wanted her to start counseling and therapy, which she still does to this day.
Okay, I was going to say that. I was going to ask because I know the state will pay for that after a child has, been through that kind of trauma.
They ended up, he was hiding for a long time, so they couldn't find him. But they ended up getting him in July of this year.
Okay.
So he is currently in jail.
Can you release his name? Can you please release his name?
Really?
Yes.
His name is Ricky.
Ricky what?
Jenkins.
Ricky Jenkins. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what city is he from? That's the only name I want you to release because I want people to know this motherfucker.
Well, I don't know. He's resided in Lancaster. That's all I know.
In Lancaster, Texas.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
I didn't ever too much know, anything about him per se, except for the shit that we went through over the years, when he was messing with, my kid's mom when she was my wife.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't, know shit like when he would get mad when she would leave him to come back to the house with me. So she would text me and tell me what she had just did to him and, all of the different type of things that, she was doing to him. Don't kiss her in the mouth when I see her and, just ignorant things like that. And, it's just been a lot of trouble. When I first seen him, because she met him, he was a co-worker at her job. And when I first seen him, I told her it was something not right about him. But, of course, I'm just hating. That's all it was. I'm always hating. But I'm a pretty good judge of character. And,
so let's get back to the charges. What charges were filed on him?
He's going to be charged for child molestation. They did say it was upgraded to rape, child rape.
That is rape.
He's also being charged endangerment to a minor. I forgot the third charge because they put 3 different charges on him for her.
Okay, and he's currently locked up now in Texas.
Yes.
Now, Texas is not the state you want to fuck with. So I really hope they would throw the book at his ass, as they always do.
Yeah,
So,
and what's so crazy about the situation, they told me straight up, I asked them, was she going to have to go to court because they was preparing her to be able to testify, and they said the judge said no. She won't even have to appear. They said that recorded conversation with the ACDC, he said that video recorded conversation, them looking at her, they knew she wasn't lying.
I'm glad. I mean, it brings...
They said, so they'll deal with it themselves. She ain't even got to get involved.
Now, did the mother face any charges for knowing this happened?
You know, she's still adamant. Like, she say she didn't know.
Of course.
But,
fucking course.
we told her. Like, I called her and told her, so you knew. And then on top of that, of you knowing, you got pregnant by him a second time. She put on a show in front of my daughter that she was going to go and confront him and kill him and all of this stuff. And I guess her cousin or something like, girl, nah, you need to watch out. You got your own life, you know, to live. And then that was it. She just dropped it. And then called this nigga on three-way, put him on the phone with my daughter, and said, tell him what you did. And she was scared, so she didn't say anything to him. So he was able to talk, baby, you know I wouldn't do you like that. You know I love you. I love her like she my daughter. Then, you know, she talking to my daughter, why would I do that to you? I love you. And my daughter was like, but you did do it. No, I didn't do that to you. And then it was just swept under the rug and gone. So, like I said, you know, I've been taking care of my daughter. And, you know, it's a factual. You know, I don't care if she's watching this or not. It's a factual. My daughter does not ask to talk to her. She does not ask to be around you or nothing. Our 6-year-old son does not ask to be around you. Neither does he want to come and stay with you. So what is that saying? Come to find out, when my son was 1, and when she first left and she took both of the kids, he was abusing my son physically. And my daughter ended up telling me that stuff. So as the years that went by, I remember my son would be sitting up and he would start talking and he would say things like, punching me in my chest. Don't punch me in my chest. And, you know, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Okay.
And then my daughter said that when he would cry, when mama would leave us out with him, he would punch, man, you know, dang, he would punch him in the chest, you know, to make him be quiet. So, you know, he's a baby, you know, and to this day he remembers. You know, so I get the death threat. You know, she wish I died. She can't wait till I die so she can get her kids back and, you know, all of that. As long as I live, you know, my kids will never go there. As long as I live. I'm going to protect my kids. I'm going to keep my kids safe. And that's just period. A lot of people can say, he wrong. That's effed up. He keeping them kids from his mama. Y'all don't know what's up. And, you know, I just told you what's popping. And that's one of the main reasons. If it's up to me, she'll never see him.
Now, I'm glad you do have custody of your children. And I commend you for following through with this. Because a lot of kids don't have parents like that. You know, so I do want to personally thank you, if nobody has thanked you, throughout this process for being a father to your children, and protecting them. Now, you contacted me because you said that, you know, although this is pretty much an open and shut case, you wanted to give me some backstory on your ex-wife and your children's mother. And you basically said that after all of this, she wants to come back to you and be with you.
She was basically like, put the past in the past, and we can work on us. We can work on us.
Work on what?
I guess, us being back together. And
now
our kids are young. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. You're good. Now we spoke earlier, and you didn't really, you gave me some information, but you did say that this wasn't the first time that she's left you and came back, and you've let her come back.
No, ma'am. Okay. She left me the first time. I was still visual, so she left me in 2011. And basically what happened, we were staying in an apartment. My mom had passed away, so we had to get out on our own.
Okay.
And we got us an apartment, but we were living with, my friend and her friend. They were going together. So he was my homeboy, and then his wife was, her homegirl. So, we thought that was cool. We could stack some money. We could do that. Everybody paying, in on the rent. It was our bill paid. We could stack some money. Okay, so while we were staying together, my homeboy and his wife ended up splitting up, but he was still there. So I started pursuing music because that work and stuff, it just wasn't for me. And before my mom had passed away, the one thing that she wanted me to do, she wanted me to stop hustling the way I was hustling. No, I wasn't selling drugs or anything. I was doing other illegal activities that I don't recommend nobody doing. And basically those illegal activities, it was putting money in our pocket. It wasn't putting a lot of money, but we was making, a little bit over $2,500 3 times a month.
Okay, and this didn't have anything to do with selling dope and things like that, did it? Because, that can open up a whole nother world too.
Yeah, exactly. No selling dope, no prescription drugs, none of that.
You mind sharing what it is that you were doing? I mean, you're not doing it anymore, of course, but...
No, I'm not doing... I was doing insurance scamming.
Okay.
So basically, rich white people would hire me to do deeds for them.
Okay.
And I would do it.
Okay.
And
now,
they were pulling me about, like I said, 3 times a month to do it. So we was making $2,500 every job.
Okay. Now fast forward to no, because I want to fast forward because we got about 10 minutes left, and I kind of want to offer my advice to your situation. Okay. And I do thank you for being all the way transparent and sharing this because, a lot of people need to hear this shit at face value. They need to hear what these little girls go through. I was a child.
Exactly.
My hymen was broken at 5 years old, so, and my uncle didn't do any time. My grandfather was the sheriff of Panama City and let him go, basically made a deal with the judge and he was off. And, so, that really, that was kind of one of my experiences. And it's not about me right now. I just want people to know. So I'm glad that you were all the way, just real about the situation and you were willing to come forward and share it. Now, you basically called me to basically say after all this, your child's mother wants to come back and you want to know if you should take her back.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
And that's what I was going to tell you. I know the answer to it now.
And when did you come to this answer?
While we was talking just now. It's too much anger. It's too much wrong. My children are who should always come first over a relationship. Even though a lot of people like to be biblically correct and say that the wife and the husband, they come before the kid, but not until the kids can defend themselves. Not until they can protect and they can live out on their own and stand on their own 2 feet. My kids are still underage, except for my oldest son.
Okay. Now I want to add to that because I know you probably do have a soft spot for your wife. You told me y'all have been together since she was 14 years old.
Yes.
And so you're how old now, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 37.
Okay. I wanted to say I was like 33, 34. Okay, 37. So that's a long time that you have with this woman, and you had kids with her, so she's damn near family to you. So I know it's hard for you to just turn your back on her because, you know, there is some love there, but there's anger there as well. And I want to tell you this on behalf of your daughter, who's not going to be able to probably tell you until she's in her 30s. If you bring her mother back into that house, your daughter will resent you forever. Even though you helped her, your daughter is going to have some resentment towards you because she's going to be wondering why she wasn't living with you. She's always going to ask questions. And this is not to blame you. I'm just telling you that this is what children go through who have been violated to the degree that your daughter has. And I know this because I'm a firsthand victim. And so you blame everybody. Why did this happen to me? Why was this covered up? Now, even though he's in jail, she's still confused that how is it that I'm a child, my parents didn't protect me. Now, if you take her back in, I guarantee you, your child will be different. You will be able to sense and pick that up. Your child's mother has not changed. She hasn't learned. It sounds to me from an outside looking in, it sounds like you have always just saved her from her own bullshit. Like you've always been, yeah. You've always been the one.
You're the first person that said that.
Huh?
You're not the first that said that. My own 18-year-old son said that.
Yeah. It's obvious. Like, you know, she goes out, she fucks up, she makes these fucked up decisions. And because you guys have been together so long, so she's going through this shit while trying to grow up. And obviously, her being in a relationship since 14 years old, she didn't have time. She didn't have anybody teaching her what to do. And you did say that she was a victim of sexual abuse too. And so not being properly raised by people who protected her, she didn't know how to protect. So, you know, you got a child out there that looks like an adult, having kids, and doesn't have a fucking clue at what to do. And so you are her fall. You're her fallback. You've always been. And so if you take her back, and I know that it's hard to kind of break that tie that you guys have. It's a soul tie because you guys have been together since she was 14 years old, okay? You have kids together. You said you guys have broken up multiple times. And she's come right back to you when she falls on her face. But if you continue to pick her up, your daughter will forever, even though you saved her, and you handled this the best way that you could. It's not easy dealing with CPS and all of these people trying to get them to believe you because they automatically first don't believe you when they get the case. They have to prove it. And so if you take this woman back in the house, your daughter will forever resent you and her mom. She's going to always resent her mom. Just like I will always resent my grandmother and my grandfather for what they did. You know, so I would really just consider her and continue to put her first, continue to keep her in counseling because she's going to need it for a very long time. And I don't know how long the state is willing to pay for it, but I would fight for it, being that you are disabled and I'm sure you live on a fixed income. You're not hustling anymore, but you got to fight for her until she's able to not look at herself as a victim anymore. And she will be able to understand that this was not her fault. And she will not have any more anger and resentment in her heart. And she's going to have that. And I guarantee you, even if you put her mother in the house while she is a teenager, you are not going to be able to control what your daughter does to her mom.
Exactly.
I wouldn't do that.
She has been fighting a lot lately.
See?
She's already got in 2 fights where she slid one boy up under the school bus. And she just pretty much beat the hell out of another girl.
See?
And she's also telling me, like she says sometimes, why you won't let my mama come over her? But then every time I let them talk on the phone, she gets pissed. She's pissed when she get off the phone.
Right.
So I'm looking at her and I'm saying, okay, why do you reach out to talk to her? And then when you talk to her, she says something that angers you.
Because she's angry. She want to know why her mom is not like everybody else's mom. That's hard coming up as a child, knowing that your mama is not like everybody else's mom, and she's not even a fucking mom. So on one hand, she has that bond that she wants to continue with her mom, but she honestly knows that this is not her mom, and that's why she gets pissed. And it's gonna get worse. And I don't know if you've had a chance to talk to the school counselors so that they won't, because nowadays they're charging kids, like they can get into a fight, they're going to jail. You know, it's not juvenile anymore, it's jail. And the amount of trauma that your daughter has been through, this is going to come out. This is going to come.
They have rules here in Texas. Like, people think that, okay, the school, we can't do one thing in school, so we'll just go home and do it. They will get you if you do it at home now, and you're a student at the school. You can get off of the bus, go to your own apartment, fight whoever you want to, and they'll get your ass when you come to school the next day.
Is there anybody in your family that your daughter trusts that could possibly be a mother to her?
My sister has been doing it, a lot.
Okay.
Like my sister's been, in her, my sister's been in both of their lives, period.
Oh, God.
But, her and my sister, they're really close. They're really, really close.
Okay.
And
your sister is going to have to make a decision if she's going to step in and be a parental figure in your daughter's life. She's going to have to cut off the mother. The mother shouldn't have any communication with y'all whatsoever. And I'm telling you this from somebody who still resents, at 36 years old, her grandparents, and one of them is dead. I have a grandfather that I don't talk to, I don't care to talk to, because he didn't care about me. So I want you to understand what this is going to do to her. And I don't know if you could ask around the school to see if your daughter could homeschool until she's able to be in an environment where she can control herself. Because right now there's a lot of emotions coming out, and the first person that says something wrong to her in school is gonna catch it. And you don't want her ruining her life. She throwing another boy under the bus. What if he would have got ran over?
Yeah.
That's serious. And I know that you can only do so much, but I don't know what the situation is like in Lancaster. But if you could find a way to keep her in therapy and homeschool her until she is able to function.
We're in Dallas.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
They were in Lancaster.
Okay, perfect.
We're in Dallas. So I do talk to the counselors. I'm a part of the PTA. I do, talk to the counselor. She's different at school. But I know what you're saying, because she could be pushed to the tipping point there as well.
Right. I'm telling you, and it's going to get worse.
She's different at school. It's when she gets here. If she feels violated, it's a wrap.
Right.
Period. It's a wrap.
Because she's like, nobody did anything to protect me before, so I got to protect me. And I'm telling you, I can't put myself in your daughter's shoes, but I'm telling you from someone who went through the same thing, who was abused by her mom. I was abused by my mom. You know what I'm saying? Bad. And so I couldn't really defend myself at home. But when I got to school, I would mix up all kind of seasonings, throw it in people, girls' eyes when they tried me, and beat them beat them until they couldn't literally, move anymore. My last straw was when I was in high school and 5 girls, tried to, jump me. And I was the one that ended up in handcuffs, because you have so much anger and frustration in you at the world. You don't mind. You just let it all out. All gloves are off. So if somebody ends up dying right here in this parking lot, it's going to happen because you don't know any boundaries, because no one ever taught you boundaries, because those motherfuckers didn't have boundaries. And so You're going to have to be that boundary in your daughter and your son's life. If not, the system is going to create boundaries for them.
And you know, it's funny that you say all of that because I noticed some of these things that you were saying because she gets mad at me sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's because this is what she told me herself. She said, you had him since he was a baby, protecting him.
Right.
But you didn't protect me.
Yeah.
And when she feels like that, like, okay, because she takes me almost everywhere. You know, she done ran me into a pole before. It's not funny.
Wait a minute. So she basically walked you into a pole on purpose.
Yeah. She was mad. She was mad. And she was walking. And wow. That's all
It's funny, but it's not funny. It's funny because it's like, ooh, I wish that I could do that to my parents. God damn.
And you know, like, I was like, okay, so did you do that on purpose? No, Daddy, I didn't do that on purpose. I love you. And I was like, oh, okay,
Shit.
well, I'm gonna love your ass when you get home. She's gonna get a whooping. But then as I'm walking, boy, I started thinking about it, like, you know, boys be talking to me and say, you gotta remember what she's going through.
Right.
Like, she's holding stuff against you, too, even though she loves you.
And
Even though she know that that's where she's safe, she's holding things against you because you should have been there.
Let me share something with you. So my mom almost had an abortion with me because my dad wasn't claiming me, and he had my mother and my stepmother pregnant at the same time. So my brother and I are literally a few months apart. And so she almost had an abortion with me. So my great-grandmother was like, no, you're going to give the baby to me and you're going to go off to Job Corps. Well, my great-grandmother started having some medical problems. And so my grandmother, who ended up putting my mom out when she was pregnant with me at 16 years old, took me in. And when she took me in, you know, that's when all of the shit started. You know, my uncle started touching me. He was babysitting me all day. I won't even drink a Dr. Pepper to this day because he would give me a Dr. Pepper to cheer me up and like a Twinkie. And I would eat that. And while I was eating that, he would play with me and make me play with him. And then it got worse. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was bad. And everybody was at work. Nobody.
She won't eat Cool Whip. She won't eat Cool Whip.
See? It's post-traumatic.
He put his penis in the Cool Whip and tried to make her suck it.
See, it's post-traumatic stress disorder. And this went on. This is not the first time that I was violated. I mean, this was the first time, but it's not the only time. And so I remember when everything went down and my aunt had ended up calling the police because my aunt said that I told her that, you know, Uncle Alan was playing with my tutu. And she was like, what? And my Auntie Diane, she's the one that literally raised me into the woman that I am. You know what I'm saying? So, because my mom, she just, you know, we're better. But I resented my mom because she had two other daughters my sisters and I are very close, but she had two other daughters and married my sister's father, who I claim as my father, you know, because he's been there since, you know, I can remember. And I resented her because I felt like she went off and made this other family and left me to, you know, be treated like this. And my hymen was broken. This man was like giving me oral sex and everything. So for years, not only did when she came to get me, so now you got a daughter she's never raised. And I'm in this environment, and my sisters have their dad, and they're like one perfect family. And here I am coming from the hood of Panama City, and she's flying me to Germany and trying to make everything right. And it just was not right. I was a poor student. She didn't want to help me with my homework. So, you know, even if I asked her for help with my homework, she would beat the shit out of me. Like, you know how to do it. Your sisters know how to do it. But at the time, she was a very young mother. She had 3 kids by the time she was 21 years old. So her thing is, if your sisters can do it, you can do it. Dismissing everything that I had been through when I wasn't with her. You understand? So, like, as I got older and I started to see who she was and, you know, the type of things that she would do to me and how she would beat me and just, you know, she really added more, you know, traumatic experiences on top of what I had been through when I wasn't with her, I was like, oh, no, fuck this. I'm a plan to kill her. And this is real shit. This is real shit. Like, there was only so much that I could take from her that I literally I was like, it's either me or her. It's either me or her. And that's where, that's where the suicidal thoughts came in at. That's where, I remember one day I was driving from Panama City. She said something to me. And I literally, the whole way from Panama City to Atlanta, was thinking about, like, how could I do her the same way she did me all these years? All these years. And I remember calling my best friend, and she said, Tasha, if you don't bring your ass to Atlanta right now. And I ended up putting myself into therapy because I was planning to hurt her. I was like, after all that I've been through. And so you have to protect your daughter and know that this is going to come out, and you have to be prepared for it too. But just know in the end, as long as she has the right help and she's around the right people, and you put as much as you can into her to build her up, although she may go off on a whim, she will always know that my daddy is here now. You can't ever blame her for nothing. You cannot whoop her. You can't do nothing. You cannot do anything to punish her, because as far as she concerned, as far as coming from her perspective, like coming from mine, as a child, when I got into a fight, I had every right to get into a fight. You can't tell me shit. You don't know what the fuck I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand that that's her way of getting this out. And if you bring that mother back into the situation, you can cancel the relationship with your daughter and you can just throw it away. It's not going to happen. And she's going to take that until you die. My dad let my mom back in my life knowing what he knew. She will never forgive you for that. So I want to thank you for calling in. And I went over 11 minutes of the show. And I'm glad that you were very transparent with this. And I honestly think that you need some therapy too, to be able to be the parent that she needs, because she's going to need a parent that's strong, that will know when she's just crying out for help, but it's coming out as anger. Hold on for a second. I think, hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So thank you, Mike. Is there anything else you want to add before I let you go?
All I want to just say is, all of you parents out there, please just listen to me.
Say that again?
Parents, I want all of the parents out there that's listening, mothers and fathers, just please listen to your kids, because they tell you things is wrong in more than one way. My kids is always taught that they could tell me anything, but some kids, they can't talk to their parents. So they tell y'all in other ways. So please just listen to your children, because this world is not safe anymore. Well, it's never been. But it's more so crazy now than it ever has been. So just listen to your kids. Look for the signs, because it's going on. Whether you want to believe it or not, it's going on.
Thank you.
That's all I want to say.
Thank you. And you are, if no one has told you, I want to tell you thank you for protecting her, and do not put anybody else before her.
I won't.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
As one sister to a brother, I love you. And please, I want to keep in contact with you, so let me know how she's doing. And if there's anything that I can personally help with, please feel free to call me. You got my personal number. If there's maybe a program or some sports that she wants to do, I don't mind helping you with that. So if she's like a great swimmer, a great softball player, just let me know. I'll just, wire the funds, and we'll get her into something so that she can, learn. Because, I believe 100% in sports and what it teaches kids and how it helps to empower them and build them. It helps to transfer, negative energies into positive energies. And so whatever it is, do not feel bad about calling me, because you're not the only, your child will not be the only child that I help out in this way. And it's not something that I broadcast, but I'm just letting you know.
Okay, and I'll talk to you about that some other time off of the show because it is something like to do.
Okay.
And before you go, we had an audition for her to be on Nickelodeon about 3 years ago before all this stuff had started coming out. And that's when her mom wasn't letting me see her. They sent me the script. They wanted her to learn the script because it was a new show that they wanted to put out, and they seen a video of her on my Facebook page. And they liked the way she looked. They liked her personality, her pick, and they wanted her. All she had to do was learn a Skippy peanut butter. You remember that? Skippy peanut butter?
Yeah.
It was the slogan for Skippy peanut butter. He wouldn't even teach her the slogan because she thought we had to move away and she wasn't going to be a part of the money. And my daughter missed out on being a star on Nickelodeon.
No, she didn't. That was just her first opportunity. No, she didn't. That was confirmation from the universe and from God that this is something that she has to look into. But she's going to have a strong foundation before she enters into Hollywood.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So thank you. And we will talk after the show, okay?
Okay.
All right. Bye, Mike.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Okay. I'm glad that ended on a positive note because I was in my feelings a lot. Now I can take a sip of goddamn wine. Let me take another one. Thank you so much to Sean for trusting me with such intimate information. Okay, it takes a lot of courage to call into a show and to put your stuff on blast and to be able to take thousands of people's advice, okay? So thank you so much to Sean. She's one of the moderators. Y'all show her some love. Thank you so much to Mike for being the parent that a lot of us don't get to have. I wish that, I had somebody like that. And I had to go pay for a therapist in my 20s and 30s. I'm going tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Okay? I go to therapy religiously. And, it's like paying a therapist to be a parent to me, to give me the tools that I didn't get so that I will learn about life and how to even live life after such trauma. A lot of you guys have been on my channel since the beginning. I've been very transparent about the shit that I've gone through. And so happy hour holds dear to my heart because I know that life throws us these situations in most cases, like his daughter. She didn't ask to be here. And she was taken advantage of. She was violated. And the only person there to help her was her father. But because of his own disability, there was only so much that he could do. And so, to all the parents out there that are protecting their kids, thank you. Because I didn't have that. I had to learn to protect myself as a child. I mean, I had my auntie raising me, but she was disabled too. Diabetic, heart problems, getting her, body just chopped up from the gangrene. I had to go out there and work at 15 years old to help her with bills because she was only getting money from her disability and Social Security, but it wasn't much. And, I would give her my whole check and just keep $20. And she was raising my sisters and I, 3 of us. And that's where I started to really get what it was like to be a normal human being. So we'll talk more about that another time because I don't want to extend this show anymore. But I do want to say thank you so much to all of the viewers for listening in. I saw all of your positive comments in the comment section, and I'm sure Mike has listened. And some people just need that extra push to, to make sure that they stand on what's right And that's what we're doing here at Happy Hour. So if you want to be a part of Happy Hour, before I tell you what I'm drinking and to become a member of the tasting room, please email me at unwinewithtashak@gmail.com. Please make sure that your email is readable and it's not too long, okay? Because I don't want to be reading 2-3 pages here, guys, okay? But if it's too long, send me a voicemail, leave me a voicemail, and somebody from my team will get back to you. And if it's really deep, hell, it may even be me. You'll be surprised at how fast yo, this Tasha, what the hell? You know? So 404-382-8865. 404-382-8865. Okay. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we meet here live for Happy Hour. Okay. At 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 a.m. UK time, okay? Now, for those of y'all that have questions about expanding your wine tasting palette, you know that I am personally partnered with the Tasting Room, okay? And for $9.95, you can't beat that. It's an introductory rate. They're going to send you 6 different bottles of mini wines specifically catered to your tasting profile from all over the world, okay? And you cannot beat this. This is how they kind of get you to subscribe and to become a member of their wine tasting club, which I am a personal member of. And if you like it, within 30 days, it will start the membership for $9.95, and they will mail wine right to your door. And if you don't like it, please cancel within 30 days, okay? Because it is a membership, all right? Thank you. Okay, and for those of y'all that are wondering what I'm drinking, I have been drinking the New Zealand Starborough Sauvignon Blanc. I love Sauvignon Blancs. They're grapefruity, they're lemony, they're limey, especially when it's about to be that time of the month. You know what I'm saying? And that's it for me. That's why I'm sleeping a lot. Not pregnant yet, okay? And in this wine, like I said, you taste the lime, the kiwi, the grapefruit, and it's just really just all around minerally. It's like, you know, tasting minerals in the soil. It's all healthy for you, okay? Because, you know, they use some pretty good goddamn soil. Actually, New Zealand was voted best, I think it was like soil to grow wine. Like, I believe in some of their vineyards in New Zealand, they don't even walk on the soil. If they walk on the soil, they walk with their bare feet, okay? They don't use shoes or anything. They want the environment to be as natural as possible, and that's how they get such great tasting wines, okay? And so this is a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc, and it will complement pretty much any type of seafood dish or salad, and maybe a, you know, it ain't summertime or springtime no more. Hell, it's fall here and it's cold, but, you know, if you were outside chilling, this is a great wine to kind of help you, you know, chill off and everything like that. And I paid, I believe it was like between 7 and 9 for this, okay? But the link will be below so that you can purchase this for yourself, okay? The Starborough, Marlborough, New Zealand, okay? Thank you. Thank you all so much for watching, okay? If you like this video, subscribe. You can also find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at UnwinedWithTashaK. Guys, please, I have 3 Instagram pages as a backup, all right? I'm using those until I get my app developed, and then you guys can be on the app, and everything is going to be uncensored and unfiltered, and you can take it and post it to Instagram because ain't nobody going to be deleting shit over here, okay? And again, if you want to be a part of Happy Hour, please feel free to send me an email to unwinedwithtashak@gmail.com, or leave me a voicemail or send me a text message to 404-382-8865. Again, I want to thank the participants of Happy Hour, Mike and Sean, today. Thank you so much for trusting us with such intimate information, and I hope that we were able to help you in some type of way, okay? I know we're not, you know, God or anything like that, but at least as a people, you know, it takes a village, and that's what Happy Hour is for. Please set your alarm clocks for Fuckery Friday. Every single Friday on this channel, we are live streaming all of the shit that we missed, okay, throughout the week, all right? Stay tuned. I do have some smaller videos dropping in between these long videos like the Happy Hours and the Fuckery Fridays, okay? So I'll be dropping short videos too. I'll be dropping one tomorrow as well, okay? So stay tuned for that. You guys need to check the channel every day. And hell, if you didn't like this video, you can still subscribe anyway just so you can cuss my ass out. Not that I'm gonna really give a damn anyway. Now I gotta go. Bye.